Let me begin with Cyprus and tell you how distressed I am, just like all my countrymen, at the recent financial misfortunes that have befallen the southern part of that tragically divided island. And we welcome the financial support given by the European Union, and especially the Eurozone countries, but also significantly by the International Monetary Fund, where, as you know, and Turkey is also a prominent member. So Turkey has also, just like the United Kingdom, by the way, supported funding toward the Cyprus financial rescue or bailout, and Turkey is now negotiating with IMF to give 5 billion credit that it will be benefit of many countries are suffering from the global economic and financial crisis, particularly in our neighborhood, I mean our neighbors in Europe as well. But today I would like to look beyond the Cypriot financial crisis and to the longer-term future of the island. And here the old expression, united we stand, divided we fall, takes on its full meaning. We all know that island nations face economic handicaps due precisely to their insularity in terms of smallness of market, transportation costs, and the like. Cyprus, being a relatively small island, will of course be in particular need to have its whole territory united. Such thinking also underlay the so-called Annan comprehensive settlement plans of the early 2000s. And it foresaw a common state government with a single international legal structure made up of two politically equal component states, northern and a southern, each of which will be responsible for the daily government of their respective communities. Unfortunately, in 2004, as you know, referendum on the Annan plan, the Greek Cypriot side voted 70% against, not least since Greek Cypriots were already assured of EU membership regardless of the outcome, whereas the Turkish Cypriot side voted 65% in favor of the Annan plan. And so the island remains divided, a division which today takes on a particularly tragic character as the southern part looks to be economically suffering for years, with inevitable indirect consequences also for the northern part, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. However, we believe that this must not deter the international community from continuing to work in favor of a just, lasting, and comprehensive settlement of the Cyprus issue, and Turkey will, needless to say, fully play its role in this regard. And this naturally includes any future shared exploitation of the potentially major gas and oil resources in the waters of surrounding the island, including the newly discovered Aphrodite gas field. And here my country has made it clear to all international organizations and every platform and that Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus must be allowed to share in any such gas and oil exploitation. And in brief, we must make sure that the use of these oil and gas treasures become a factor for peace and cooperation between all countries concerned. And also I would like to mention here the Peace Water project coming from Turkey through the pipeline coming from Turkey, and it will bring minimum 75 million cubic meter water a year to the island. And let me now turn to Israel, near neighbors of Turkey's south. As you probably aware, Turkey and Israel have for decades pursued good neighborly policies, including in trade and mutual investment in each other's economies. And this then is another example of Turkey's overall policy of zero problems with our neighbors. However, these relations suffered greatly not only from Israel's bombing of Gaza in late 2008, but in particular from the Israeli attack on a civilian aid ship namely Mavi Marmara in 2010, in which 9 Turkish citizens and others lost their lives, and we condemned as Turkey this unprovoked attack on a civilian target in the strongest possible term. After almost 3 years of political tensions, last month, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu extended a formal apology on behalf of his country and the nation to the Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan. And furthermore, compensation to be awarded to the families of those who died, and ambassadorial relations will be restored in the future. And Turkish principal policy and smart diplomacy paved the way for this positive turn of events, permitting our countries to focus on other matters of common concern, such as the civil war in Syria, the Iranian nuclear crisis, and the matters that still burden Turkish-Israeli relations. These, of course, include the expansion of the Israeli settlements in the West Bank, and Turkey strongly supports a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict based on the Oslo Accords of 1993. And with ambassadorial relations between our two countries to be restored, Turkey will at very least be able to resume its traditional role as a conciliatory force between the two sides. There are, of course, many other issues to be debated and discussed between Israel and Palestine, like the two-state solution, 1967 borders of East Jerusalem, Palestinian refugees that they have to go back, and Palestinian national reconciliation as well. And let me finally turn to the civil war in Syria, with which Turkey shares a 900 kilometers border to its south. Turkey has been highly critical of the current Syrian regime, drawing attention to its suppression of its population and the atrocities committed by it in the course of a civil war that was already cost the lives of untold thousands of people and uprooted well over 1 million people from their homes, and many of them now living as refugees in Turkey and in Lebanon as well. And Turkey continues to insist on an end to the bloodshed in Syria and to departure of the Assad regime. Our policy is here very, very clear. And this being said, it must be ensured that any new regime that takes over the democratic and is democratic and respects human rights and the rule of law in Syria. We know that this is the main concern, not only in Europe, but in many parts of the world. And Turkey, for its part, will continue its policy for caring of many refugees on its soil, and while working strenuously in favor of the democracy so long sought by the suffering Syrian people. And I would like to inform you that currently Turkey hosts 350,000 refugees from Syria, and already spent $700 million US. Unfortunately, the aid has been coming from the countries and international organizations very little and very insufficient. I think we receive only 87 million from United Nations and 50 million from Saudi Arabia. So if you compare, 700 million is very little and insufficient. And to leave more time for the debate, and I would like to end my speech, and finally, I would like to also make another general observation on present Turkey in the world. Turkey is both a highly religious country with many religious denominations living in harmony, side by side, and it is at the same time a country with a democratic, secular constitution and system of government. And this was a fundamental principle at the founding of our republic almost a century ago. And Turkey is today showing another part of the world, very much including an awakening Middle East, that there need not be, indeed shouldn't be any incompatibility between religion on the one hand and a secular democratic form of government on the other. And future historians will debate to what extent Turkey helped inspire through its example to struggle for freedom and democracy that we witness today in the regions to the Turkey's south and southeast. And today, what we Turks know is that we have an important role to play in all our surroundings, including Europe, a continent that I have not touched on today, but that, as Rudyard Kipling said, is another story for another day.